I'm getting a little bit emotional as I'm saying this. I I never thought that this would happen. But yeah. How's it going, guys? It's Babyface Trucker back with another video, and I'm coming at you from the Springfield terminal. As you can see, I am in the Millennium Building parking lot. There's a bunch of trucks and the Millennium Building behind them, and you probably already saw that I have my camera installed. But this will not be the subject for this video. Today we're going to tackle 3 things that I've been wanting to talk about pretty much since the day I got this truck. We're going to discuss the logo that I pick out for the truck, the name of the truck, and we're also going to talk about my lease purchase regrets. Let's get to it, guys. So yes, my LLC got approved, guys. I am the proud owner of Aunt Dolores Shipping Solutions. And yeah, some people may wonder why I chose that name. It has nothing to do with Peruvian trucker. I thought about it pretty hard. I wanted something that was meaningful, and ever since I was a kid, like 2 years old, I've been a huge fan of the Back to the Future movies. And for those who know, the Back to the Future car is a DeLorean. Ever since I have used a reason, that has been my dream car. And well, I'm sure trucking will allow me to get to buy my dream car quicker, but that's like the last thing on my list. Like, I have so many goals, and that's like the end of the line for my goals. So and whenever I get that car, I'm gonna name it Dolores because it's a DeLorean, and that's why I thought that naming my company Aunt Dolores, because that's gonna be the name of the car, will remind me every day of my end goal. You know, I want to buy a house, buy a couple other things before I get to that point. So and I want to do that hopefully within the terms of my lease. So it's not as meaningful as other YouTubers, but it is meaningful to me, and I hope that you guys follow me on this journey until I get that car, because I'm setting it in stone with this video that I'm gonna get it. Definitely. Okay, guys, so I wanted to share that clip first because it's crazy to me how many things have changed since I started at Prime, since I recorded that video. Like, even the name that I had planned for the DeLorean, which was Dolores, which is why I named the company Aunt Dolores, has changed since then. You know, my grandma passed away in 2022, and I have since decided that Mechita, which is my grandma's, well, it's not my grandma's name, but that's what we called her, that's going to be the name for the DeLorean whenever I buy it. Also because she hated Back to the Future, from having to watch it so many times with me. Yeah, I'll post a clip of that actually at the end of this video. It is very clear on that video that my initial plan was to complete the lease, to run my truck, the lease truck that I had before, for 3 years, and then then move on. And the main reason why I did that back then was because lease purchase was not an option. You know, Prime had stopped truck orders. Of course, not 2 to 3 months after I got my lease truck with a 3-year commitment, truck orders were back on, and my plans were immediately modified, and that's why I have this truck. But also, that clip is very important because it talks about my LLC and my love for the DeLorean, which is a very important part of my logo. Now, my initial plans for the truck were not to just do a logo on the door. I had a number of emails or email communication with Stripes and stuff, because I wanted a collage of multiple video game and cartoon characters of my childhood sprinkled over the truck. And what gave me kind of that idea is that I was at Pittston once, and there was a guy that had the Powerpuff Girls on the hood of his truck. And he said that it was for his daughters. And that kind of planted the seed of what I wanted to do for my truck. So I made a list of, I think it was nearly 90 characters or collection of characters. I'll post it here on the screen. I don't know that it'll fit, but I'll try. And this is an idea that I had from the day I ordered my truck. I wanted to get a green truck, but sometimes in the back of my head, I had some concern on if the green was going to be a good background for this idea that I had of the collage. And I ended up picking green anyway, of course. But that was in the back of my head back then, even when I was placing the order, because that was something that I wanted. And the reason why I wanted that was because I wanted to share part of my personality. You know, kind of, I say share some joy, I guess. My idea was that, of course, these are the memories or like the characters from my childhood that make me smile. And my hope was that maybe either going down the road or at a truck stop, someone would see a character that they remembered or they relate to. Hopefully someone that loves video games and movies and TV shows as much as I do, and maybe take them back for a second or two, make them smile. That was something that I really wanted to do. So again, I had this communication with Dustin from Stripes and stuff, and I explained him my idea, and the budget was going to be around $6,000. It was going to be like $1,000 to create the design with all of the characters to start, and then between materials and the labor, it was going to be around an extra $5,000, which, in my opinion, it's a fair number for a truck. I didn't think it was expensive at all. The issue was that there were two issues. The first one was that as I was thinking about it, I had this thought of not knowing if I wanted to bring that type of attention to myself, like maybe being at a truck stop, backing, struggling, and then my truck sticks out like a sore thumb with all these things. And that's, the flip side to having a design that I like. I didn't know that if I wanted that. And then the second thing was the cost. While $6,000 is a fair amount in my opinion, I wasn't sure that I wanted to be spending that amount of money at this time. I bought a BMW across the country for less than that, right? So in my mind, I was like, I could buy another car or save that money to put it on something else. I don't know that I want to spend that amount of money, right? Which was the thought that prevailed. With all the medical stuff that I had to go through this year, it was probably not the best decision to spend that money. It wasn't the best decision to buy the car that I bought, but I had already done that. So I just ended up deciding that, I can always do that in the future. Maybe in a year I will go through with it. Another thing that I was trying to use to convince myself to do it in the moment was that if I want to do something like that in the future, it's going to require me to, of course, stop running and lose on that revenue for however long it takes to create that design and apply it to the truck. and I didn't know that I wanted to do that either. While the truck was being ordered, or um, while if I would have had that design done when I ordered the truck, I would have, I was able to keep running while it was all taken care of. If I ever decide to do that in the future, I don't know that I will. Um, 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 we'll see. We'll see. I'm hopeful that I will be in a position where I can still do that, because I really wanted it to be like my truck, like, and to be a way to express myself. I'm a very introverted person, believe it or not, and that could have been a way for me to connect with other people in a different way. And that's, yeah. So once I came to terms with the fact that probably blowing another $6,000 at this time was not the best idea, that's when I asked them how much it would cost to do like a small logo for the door. So I narrowed it down to a couple of things that I wanted on my own personalized logo that I thought would speak to me. And I sent Dustin an email. And this is what he came up with. Honestly, I loved it immediately. Like, it wasn't exactly what I pictured in my mind. I almost want to say that it was better, because he included the northern lights in the sky, which I didn't even think of. And yeah, the only concern was that because of the color of the truck, that the contrast was going to be too offensive to the eyes, I thought. So we talked about it a little bit more, and he toned down the colors a little bit, or darkened them. And this was fully inspired by the name of the company. Obviously, there had to be a DeLorean in the logo. That was like priority. Then we have Muriel from Courage the Cowardly Dog, which was one of my favorite shows growing up. That actually turned 25 November of 2024. That's crazy to me. I love that show. So combining Muriel with the DeLorean, that was on Dolores for the logo. That idea of combining them came from the company name. And then there's the owl in the sky. I have a great friend that I met through YouTube here at Prime called Tim. And Tim started calling me Night Owl because I like driving night shifts. So when I talked to him about the idea that I had, he told me that I should include a night owl. And that's it. And I'm very happy with the logo. Like, yeah. Next, we move to the name of the truck. And I came up with the name after I got the truck. I really didn't know what I was going to name it. My last truck, the green truck, the Lease truck, was named Emerald. And my dad named it. It was named Esmeralda in Spanish, but Emerald in English. So I have this thing that I do with the names of my vehicles, that it has to be something relating to the color. My green wagon is named Jade. My white convertible is named Bianca, which is a play on the word white in Spanish, blanco, or bianco in Italian. My black BMW was named Black Betty, and I still haven't come up with a name for the 7 Series. So when coming up with the name for this truck, initially I wanted to go the same route. I wanted to get a play on the color. But then it hit me. I don't even know how it happened. I think I was driving, but what the person that would be my grandfather, but the person that has been a grandfather to me, I don't even know how to explain this. So my actual grandfather on my dad's side died when my dad was 15 years old in Peru. My grandma remarried with another person named Alfredo, and throughout my whole life he was my Uncle Alfredo. but really he was my grandfather, you know, not by blood, but in the way that he was with me, and I loved him so much. And when I moved to this, but I never really had a relationship with him until I moved uh, here to America because he lived here with my grandma. Um, so from 2011 up until when he passed away in 2015, we were really close, really close. And at some point, we were going to go on a road trip. He drove my grandma everywhere. He loved driving. He went on a trip to Peru in 2015. I don't remember exactly how it happened. I think he fell and cracked his hip, and that was pretty much the end of it. He got admitted to the hospital and never made it out. So I never really got to say goodbye to him. You know, like it was like he left to Peru and never came back. Um, and it's actually weird. I didn't cry when he passed away. It was almost like he was still in Peru. Um, um, but and that's how I remembered him, right? So at some point it hit me that had he still been alive, or if he was still alive today, at some point he would have been on the truck with me, and we would have had that road trip that we never had. Um, and and I don't know that if, you know, in 2022 or 2023 or 2024, given the age that he would have had now, if he would have been able to hop on the truck with me. But the way that I remember him before he left, that's the memory of him that I have in my mind, and he would have been ecstatic to come on the road. And I don't know if my grandma would have approved or if she would have wanted him to come, but he would have been 100% on board, just because of how he was. So I decided to name the truck Fredo because the introverted person in me didn't want it to be too on the nose and to show me being vulnerable, I guess. But then, so I decided to name the truck Fredo, just because I would know that it was because of him. And then Cajun Couple Trucking came along. I met them around the same time that I was getting ready to pick up my truck here at the terminal. And then when I actually came back to pick up my truck, they were also here and we met, and they gifted me this little cat for my dash, for me to put in the dash. And I decided to name this cat Elf. And that way I would have the full name of my uncle Alfredo in this truck, just to like keep him with me. Yeah, I'm getting a little bit emotional as I'm saying this. I never thought that this would happen, but yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, let's get to my lease purchase regrets. I may need a second. I want to say that a month after I ordered the truck, I started having second thoughts about the color. There is a burgundy looking color that comes on the Freightliners, and for a little bit I was kind of regretting getting a green truck, thinking that I could have gone that red color, still with the gold striping, and it would have looked really nice. But then when I got my truck, the finished product with the logo and everything, that concern of maybe regretting not ordering that color went away. Now, other than that, with living on this truck for the last month, it took 2 seconds. It took less than a day to have regrets. And there's really only one regret that I have, and that is, let me turn around, the carpet on the sleeper, guys. So I got the carpet on the sleeper, and immediately I realized that was a mistake, because I was going to get another carpet or on top of it just to protect it, and what happens is that both carpets slide around. As you can see, that's why it's all curled up over here. Every day I have to like re-stretch it just from stepping on it. Carpet on carpet is no good. And the reason why is because, like, the second I saw it installed in the truck, I was like, that's gonna be a pain to get clean and to keep clean. Which is why I have these, but and you can see, like, I mean, these are dirty, you know, and at least these I can take out, or I can, like, you know, move so I can clean them elsewhere. This one's stuck here unless I, you know, get enough motivation to unscrew it. So that was a mistake. My advice to anyone getting a Freightliner, ordering a Freightliner, I mean, you're free to do what you want, but I would recommend to just get this carpet kit. You can put it, it's made for the Freightliner, and it has the shape of this section, even like curved over there on the edges. See, like, this is all curled up because it slides on top of the other carpet. But yeah, if you just get this for $200, it's like a kit for the entire truck. I think it was $200, but the carpet and sleeper was $60. But think about it long term, it's going to take so much more effort to keep that clean versus the $200 one time to have these carpets. And that is my biggest regret, really. Other than that, there were two things that I was kind of on the fence about. For a second, I regretted not ordering the lounge. It was an extra like $3,300 or $3,500. And the reason why I started regretting maybe not ordering that was because when I ordered the truck, I was thinking about my personal comfort. And when I got the truck, it dawned on me that if I'm ever in a situation where I have someone with me in the truck, that lounge will be so convenient and so comfortable for the both of us. But in reality, I don't need it. I didn't need it back then. I don't need it right now. I don't know if I will be needing it in the future. I just thought that it would have been good forethought to get it. The drawback with that is that you lose a lot of space. So I probably will never need it like that. But only time will tell. If you're in a relationship and you think that maybe your significant other will come in the truck with you, and you're ordering a lease purchase truck, that will probably be a good investment just for comfort, long term. You will lose a lot of space, and I mean a lot of space, because what will be the center storage in the bunk gets deleted. And then my other regret, which is not really a regret, is that I didn't get the digital dash. The digital dash is like $1,200, and again, when I ordered this truck, I was thinking that I want it to be as reliable as it can be. Ultimately, it is a tool, and I don't want to deal with any issues. Analog gauges are proven technology. They've been around pretty much since the invention of the car. at least 50, 60 years, reliable. Over 60 years at this point. I'm just thinking of 50s and 60s cars, but they had them before. And getting the digital dash would have added a level of complexity that I don't need. It looks really cool, and I've never seen it in any truck that I've looked at. So for a moment I was like, man, I should have gotten that. It would have been cool to get it. Also, this is probably never going to happen or not going to happen, but I mentioned this, if I can help it, I will keep this truck with me forever. Realistically, it's not going to happen. But, and, I just was afraid that at some point the digital gauge or digital dash will fail and I will be stranded. The other thing that I regret, let's close this off. Another thing that I regret getting is this footwell lighting. I mean, I think it was like another $60. I really can't remember how much I paid for this. I don't need it. I really don't. I didn't need to get this. It's cool, but it does nothing else, nothing for you. If you turn all the lights, you still can see everything. Yeah. And I don't think I've used it once when driving at night. Maybe I should use it a couple times just to to get my money's worth. Mm-hmm. And the last thing that I regret getting, I think it's part of the premium lighting package, is the premium lighting package, because I will admit, this light over here has been nice and useful for routing my wires and keeping all this clean, with my setup. So that's been useful. I thought that this light right here was going to be a game changer for me, but it's not that powerful. I can just use this light right here, and yeah, I didn't need to get the premium lighting just for that light. Mm-hmm. Now, when it comes to the things that I am glad I ordered on my Lease truck, the sound installation, it's wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. You still feel the vibration of the APU kicking on, and you still hear a little bit, but boy, does it make a difference. I've been sleeping so comfortably back there, and the sound installation, the added sound installation, it's a big reason why. And that's pretty much it, guys. I don't think this is a vital video for my channel or for someone to watch, but I just wanted to share, the reasoning behind some of the things that I do. You can get to know me better, figure out how my brain works. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's just like a trip down memory lane for me. And actually, as I'm saying that, I kind of like the idea or the thought that, I say that my videos are kind of like a journal for me. I do them for me, and I just share them for other ones, for whoever wants to watch them. But I like the thought of how you can trace, or I guess trace is the word, my entire trucking journey, from how I thought I was going to stay on the Lease truck all the way to this point. And how do I say this? It truly is my trucking journey. It's all been at Prime, and it's been great. And I just like the idea that, for anyone that cares to trace or to watch the entire development of my journey, it's all on YouTube from the very beginning. From TNT training. But that's it. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully, you enjoyed this video. If not, I'm sorry. we will move to more important things, I guess. Um, hopefully the next video will be more of your liking.
Ya pues, hay que volver al futuro. Oye, ¿por qué?
No,
¿Pero no te gusta?
será bonita, es bonita, pero no voy a verla 20.000 veces yo.
Pero te apuesto que ya ni te acuerdas cómo es.
La verdad que no me acuerdo, pero tampoco la voy a ver.